Sarah had never been superstitious. A pragmatic woman by nature, she approached life with logic and reason. So when her son, Oliver, was born, she brushed off the strange occurrences as mere coincidence. But the coincidences kept happening. Oliver never cried, not once. Not when he entered the world, not when he was hungry, not even when he fell and scraped his knee as a toddler. Instead, he would stare deeply, intently, at whatever upset him, his dark eyes unreadable. Then, moments later, something would happen. A glass would shatter across the room. The television would flicker with static before switching off. The neighborhood dogs would howl into the night. Sarah's husband, James, chalked it up to imagination. "Babies are weird," he'd say with a chuckle. "He'll grow out of it." But Sarah wasn't convinced, especially not when she began waking up to find Oliver standing at the foot of her bed, watching her in the dark, silent and still. As the months passed, the incidents became more frequent, more violent. Objects moved on their own. People in their lives suffered inexplicable accidents, minor at first, but then more serious. A babysitter quit after being locked in Oliver's room for hours, despite no lock existing on the door. A neighbor slipped down the stairs and swore she felt an invisible force push her. Then there were the whispers, low, guttural sounds that slithered through the baby monitor at night, words in a language Sarah did not understand. Desperate for answers, Sarah turned to her estranged grandmother, Evelyn, a woman she barely remembered from childhood. When she visited the old woman's home, Evelyn's expression turned grim the moment she saw Oliver. "It's happening again," she murmured, ushering Sarah inside. Evelyn revealed a family secret buried for generations. Long ago, one of their ancestors had made a pact with an ancient, malevolent entity, something not quite demon, not quite God. In exchange for prosperity and power, the family would always bear a child touched by the entity's influence, a child who would serve as its vessel. Sarah recoiled at the revelation. "You're saying Oliver isn't human?" "He is," Evelyn assured her. "But he is also something more. The entity is watching through him, waiting." Terrified, Sarah asked how to stop it. Evelyn hesitated before finally whispering the truth. There was no stopping it. The pact was sealed in blood, and if they did not fulfill their end of the deal, the entity would take what it was owed, brutally and without mercy. Sarah returned home, staring at her son in his crib. He looked up at her, a knowing glint in his eyes. Then, for the first time, he smiled. A terrible, knowing smile. Sarah knew what she had to do. The question was, could she bring herself to do it? If you're still watching, then maybe you've heard the whispers too. If this story hit you hard, like, subscribe, and don't forget to share it with someone who thinks all babies are innocent. Drop a comment. What would you do if your child smiled like that? Would you protect them or protect everyone else? We've got more stories coming that you'll want to hear, even if they don't want to be heard.